Alright, so this video right here is for Rap the News. Hey, I respect you. I respect, some of your teachings and stuff like that, man. I've been watching you since, last year, and, you helped me, do a lot of different things, but, I've also watched how you, just listen to how you, say one thing about, somebody's teachings and stuff, but then you go and turn around and use, their teachings and things, let me just say this, like, you giving, I don't know, but it's kind of like oxymoronic, like, you saying one thing, but then it's like, you teaching from, like, you call Jesus faggots and, Paul faggots, the disciples faggots, so they this, so that, but you steady going to their scriptures and using their teachings and stuff, to teach people, and if you I feel like if you feel that way, just stick to your Old Testament, and that'll solve that problem.
Alright, this is Rap the News, and this is a response to Yeshua's Servant. Yeah. It's a method to the madness. Everything that I do is meticulous, and basically it's an order to it. It may seem chaotic to people who don't know what I'm doing, but once you understand exactly what I'm doing, then basically it'll make sense to you. So when you know the truth is going to set you free. The falsehood is what's confusing everybody and have everybody divided. Okay, so when I go in on Paul, I'm not going in on Paul. Even though I may use Paul's name and everything else, Paul is probably a fictitious character in the Bible. That's not his real name or anything else. Paul's teaching could have been absolute or truthful, but somebody may have tampered with it. Who knows what the real deal is with it all. But when Paul tells the truth, I stand behind the truth that Paul tells. The truth has to be in accordance with what God said in the Old Testament, or else you're breaking the law if you don't understand what I'm doing. And I'm trying to be civil as I possibly can be. Like I said, it's a time to go all out and it's a time not to go all out. This is not the time to go all out. At least I don't think it is. So I'm being civil with this. So Jesus Christ, the prophet of the children of Israel, I would never disrespect him. Love the brother. Would never disrespect him at all. Christ crucified is a faggot. If you can understand what I'm doing here. So I think what you're getting confused is the truth versus falsehood. I can't stand a lie. And I'm pretty sure if someone lied to you, you can't stand a lie either. Especially if you believed and thought it was true all your life. And then come to find out when you're grown that you've been lied to about every damn thing. You can't stand a lie either, Or if you put your trust in something and somebody let you down, you can't stand a lie. So when I'm expressing that I can't stand a lie, I use harsh words. That I can't stand that they lie like this. And it is some lies. And big lies in the Bible. There's some strong contradictions. And I'm not blaming John, Mark, Luke, Matthew. All of those are fake names. They're not even real. That is not the Hebrew names for them. It's like Americanized names given to our prophets and our scholars and our teachers and everything else. And a lot of books don't belong in the Bible, and it was just placed in there to keep everything confusing because they want it confusing because they thrive off confusion. Order out of chaos, right? So, Jesus Christ, I respect highly. Will never say anything about him or dishonor him in any type of way. Highly. Do I believe that he existed and is a prophet? He was sent to the lost sheep of Israel 1,000%. It's not confusing whatsoever. Christ crucified is a paganistic character that was placed in the Bible. The Antichrist. I do not believe in that paganistic triunity God. So it's a difference between the one who was sent for the lost sheep of the house of Israel and the one that was sent to the world as a triunity God, a trinity. See, it's a difference when Paul is saying that, hear, O Israel, this is what God wants us to do, and it's agreeing with the Old Testament. I'm straight up with Paul. But if Paul lie, I'm not for that lie. If they make Christ lie, I'm not for that lie, because that's not Christ. That's them lying for Paul and Christ. And then I know it's confusing when you've been indoctrinated into all of this stuff. I was never really indoctrinated into it. So I was almost like a person on the outside looking in, figuring out what the hell was going on. I think if I was indoctrinated, it's like a person having sex. You don't know you sleeping with the enemy. Someone has to tell you, something is wrong with this. But as long as you're sleeping with the enemy, you kind of blinded to the enemy. I never slept with the enemy. I wasn't indoctrinated into Christianity. And so I can look at it from another angle, a bigger angle. Because my heart and my love ain't in the paganistic infiltration like most people's is. But when you can prove it all to be false, and I ain't talking about the whole religion of Christianity, I believe in the Bible. I'm not going to go out of the Bible. I just don't believe in the infiltration of the Bible. And I'm pretty sure you're understanding what I'm saying at this particular time. So it ain't too damn confusing whatsoever. So here's what the Bible, the Torah is saying. It says that I, the Lord, don't change and don't add or subtract to my words. When the Bible was added to the Torah, if anything differs from the Torah, it is a lie. So if God said, I am your Savior, I did this, I did that, and I am this, and I am the Savior for the house of Israel, now and forever, and my covenant don't change, and my covenant is an everlasting covenant. If someone is trying to offer you a new covenant, a new religion, and a new God, something is wrong. It's common damn sense. And it boils down to, servant of Yahusha, whether you're going to obey God or you're going to obey man. You're going to obey God or creation. I'm all for God. And everything else, this is how I believe, is a servant. God uses the creation, but it is not God. So I will never believe Jesus is a God, or Paul or anybody else. God has the final say in my brain. And then everything that you hear me say, go back and listen to it now, and then it'll make sense to you. It ain't going to make sense if you passionate for the Christ. And the Christ is a paganistic God. Unless you passionate for the one that came and delivered the law through the children of Israel. Not the one who went around the Gentiles. That don't exist. It's just a portrait of a false image, the image of the beast. Let's wrap the news.